Hi everyone, Shelley here. I've been wanting to do a video for a couple of days. I'm a spiritual guide, if you're new here, if you're new to me. And I just haven't felt like terribly inspired. I've been having some internal uh conflict maybe with myself around some changes I want to make to my business life. And really, it's that kind of old saying, it's the same old story, it's the same old song and dance. Because for me, um, you know, part of my karmic journey has been a lot of struggling with belief in myself and self-confidence. So I've gotten to this place where I've been wanting to make changes, I've been wanting to grow, but this old voice keeps creeping in. I don't believe that old voice anymore. It's the old voice, and we all get plagued by it sometimes. Like, I don't know, it's not even about that I'm not good enough. It's about that it's not necessary. It's about people aren't interested. It's just blah, 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 right? So it's not even that I believe that old voice anymore, but what it has done is kind of stunted my inspiration. I have a long booklet of stuff that I want to talk about when I'm in my most inspired moments. So what I decided to do today is just I'm just going to dive in. Like, I'm not going to wait to feel inspired. I'm just going to put this video out there and keep going. And that, kind of giving the proverbial finger to that voice of self-doubt. So let me make sure that I'm looking at myself correctly, because I have to find a focal point so I don't look like I'm not looking at you guys, because I want you very much to know that everybody who subscribes to my channel and everyone who comes across my videos, like, that in a way, we are connected. We're we're all connected to everyone all the time. It is the biggest joke of the cosmos and of this delusionary existence on Earth where we feel separated, isolated, and alone. We are not alone. But I do know that the feeling of being alone can be very, very real, and can be really stifling at times. So I got out my cards. So I have this relationship with Oracle cards. I'm not really an Oracle card reader, but I do use them, if that makes any sense. I that's not my main thing, but I will use them because they can be quite directing and they can ignite the channel. So I'm going to use them to ignite my inspiration channel to bring through some guided messages for you guys to kind of see who's around. Today is August 31st, 2024, and we're about to hit Labor Day. So we're transitioning into the fall vibe. So it's been really, really hot where I live here in Ohio. It doesn't feel like fall, but it's in the air, and it's definitely in the marketing, and it's in, the pumpkin spice lattes and all that is going on. So we're on the cusp, but we're also in America entering into the hardest part of the election cycle, where we're all just usually so glad when it's done. Okay, great. And when I said that, this is very interesting. Oh, I'm in portrait mode. Oh, here we go. I have to put it in my face. I said we're in an election cycle. And this is the card that popped out. This is the broken arrow card. This is take steps to protect yourself. So it's very clear that the first thing that guides want to come through for, maybe what we're doing here is a little bit of a fall reading. But coming up here through fall, I'm getting a very strong hit. And it's, for any of us who are sensitive, it's kind of a no-brainer. We need to be protecting our energy. And more than the energy at this point, our minds. The the powers that be in media and even on social media, and let's face it, even our friends and families, we're under so much influence in the brain, in the mind, right? Most of us really, at times in our lives, some of us never really think for ourselves. In order to think for ourselves, we actually have to isolate. And it's weird, right? Because I just brought up, like, we're not isolated. But what I mean isolation is, like, we need to mentally pull away, do some contemplation, do some meditation, do some withdrawal. I had somebody just commented today, and that was the thing that inspired me. She's like, I've really, really been struggling. I'm feeling spiritually lost. And I felt like that was my guides. I was literally like, I don't know, doing nothing. And I think it was my guides waving like, Shelly, get off your ass. You've got stuff to get done. You've got people to reach and talk to. I think at the heart of what I do is I'm a spiritual cheerleader, and I really want to help people find more peace and solace and connectivity, because I know it is possible, even from the darkest places. I think that's also some of the reasons I have had some real dark times in my life, is so that I can help show people the way out of those dark times, because the way out is It's not possible, it's probable. Um, and to be honest, no great mystic, no great spiritual being ever just, everybody went through a dark time. That's just how it works. It's like we get forged in it. Anyway, I'm going to stay on topic. One of the things that'll happen when I get in the channel is I can bounce around. This is what the cards are for. Protect your mind this political season. Try making your choices coming from your heart and from your energy. Try being in your body and protect your mind. Lots of fear mongering goes on. It's a manipulative tactic for all narcissists, and believe me, the political realm and media, they are the institutionalized narcissists. They don't care about you. Okay. And I'm not saying that politicians don't care about you, but I'm saying the system of media, the system of politics, the system of money making is not concerned about your individual well-being. It's concerned with the well-being of the system, right? And it's not altruistic. So we have to be in charge of that. Pay attention to how you're feeling inside. If you are feeling sad, yucky, turn off the social media, turn off the TV, go pick up an inspirational book of whatever sort of spiritual flavor you are, go out into the woods. It works. I don't know if you've all seen those TikToks of people who are like walking in the woods and they're like, kind of like, oh, you said that, if I go out in the woods, it's going to help my mental health. And it's like, damn, you were right. Taking walks, doing the most simple things will bring you back to yourself. The thing you do need to do is be consistent with it. One walk in the woods is not going to cure what ails you, but walking in the woods several times a week, or taking a walk outside, doing meditation, doing breath work, eating good foods consistently, you will see that you will turn your ship around. So protect yourself throughout the political season. Embrace the energy of peace within you. If you cannot find it around you, which, oh, another one found out. So what did I say? Yeah. So the next card is the Shaolin Master. The Shaolin Master is directing us to move gently, to move with grace, to move with ease. Don't push, don't force. Yeah, it's like an energy of Tai Chi, right? And we also don't, we may have, I think this again with the political discourse, we may have forces that seem to be coming at us, whether through people talking or wherever it comes from, right? And the tendency we all might have is to put our dukes up, right? Shaolin Master, it's like we stay graceful. We dodge, like, you can think of like the Karate Kid. He was, he was taught not to fight, but to defend, like wax on, wax off. What was the other one? Brush up, brush down or something. So move gently. So our two cards so forth is being protective towards ourselves and embracing the energy of peace. And then the other one is like moving gently, moving gracefully, moving peacefully. Don't force energy. Don't, if you find yourself repeatedly in a relationship or some sort of situation where you feel like you have to defend yourself, that is not a good situation for you. Our egos will really trick us to think that we have to stay in those kind of dynamics, explaining ourselves, eh, you know, having to tell our story again and again. No, it is possible to have experiences in life where people just trust us, believe us, support us, love us, and we don't have to defend ourselves. It can also just be good enough to say, no, I don't want to, or that doesn't feel right to me, or I just need to rest, and have people really genuinely care about us. These are all graceful ways of moving through life. I'm going to do one more card. All right, guides. I'm feeling this energy of a need to be grounded. I think that's what's happening for me. I think I'm getting really, really grounded right now. So sometimes that feels like I'm really slowing down, and it can feel like not inspired, but there's always inspiration to be found. Sometimes it's just you find it in the dirt and not up in the sky and not up in excitement. And it can just be like slow and easy. Call Dave at 3 o'clock. That just came up on my, I don't know what that means. It must be for my husband. Dave, I'm calling you. It's 3 o'clock. Okay. Nothing's popping out. Let's see. Anything else that the guides want to share with us today? Oh, here we go. Last card. Okay, this is the elder card. Man, have I pulled this so many times this year. The elder card is about moving away from um old family dynamics and old patterns. This I think can go along with Sheol and Master about like not having conflict. It's like if you have old family dynamics that you want to not participate anymore, not live in anymore, change the name of the game. Um, First of all, we have to know what it is that we do want, because what you don't want may be really loud. It's just obvious, right? It might be in your face, the way that your family members behave or their expectations of you, the words that are spoken to each other, all of that. When we move away, if we're going to move away from the old way, gracefully, and also like embracing peace, we want to know what we're moving towards. So a really good homework to do is to do some writing and contemplation. I think writing and contemplation are so important on the spiritual path. We need to not just think it. This can get all twirly whirly. We want to bring it into matter, but write down, what am I doing? What do I want? If not, what that old family pattern is. If you've got a family that has old trauma wounding that's not been healed, people refusing to heal, people expecting silence about unhealthy things. They want your silence about unhealthy things, or, you get blamed if you do speak up, and all that can, I mean, there's so many things. I could make a, long list of unhealthy family patterns. You can name that, obviously, but name like, what would you want it to be like? What do you want your relationships in your life to be like? And the caveat I will say is there can be absolutely no expectation that anybody is going to change in your family. This is something that our spiritual guides will lead us to, and we will find other people to be in these healthier dynamics with, but we want to have the kind of boundaries with our family members that's not about what we expect them to do, but what we are going to do about it. Like, we can ask, please don't talk to me like that, please don't, blah blah blah, and if you do, here's my boundary. um I'm going to withdraw. I'm not going to talk to you for a little bit of time. I can't come over with the kids because this doesn't feel healthy. This doesn't feel right. But really, all the while, we're not fighting and pushing against the old way. What we're doing is starting to live pretty immediately in the new way, pretty immediately in the I am peace. I am peace. Sometimes we do have to move away from people, situations where it's like, I can't hold my peace here. And you see how that's so different than I'm leaving because you suck. It's like, I can't hold my peace in this situation. I can't hold the light in this situation. So I have to go where I can. And sometimes it's just alone for a while. So if I were to sum up the message that the guides thought, it's a very gentle message. It is about moving away from the old, which could also be about this political time. I think we clearly do have some old ways that are going to be falling away and new ways that are coming online. And it evokes a lot of fear in people when that happens. But we're evolving, new ways of thinking and moving and doing, can really bring on just a lot of healing, an easier time, more connectivity. But every juncture of human history, when we've gone through change, people freak out. It feels really, really scary. But what the guides are saying with these cards as we move into the fall in this election season here in the US is move in peace, take measures to protect yourself and your mind. Be very aware. You may be struggling with your mental health, and it may not really have originated inside of you. Listen to that. Most of the time, and I've had my own struggles with mental health, we think something's broken inside of us when actually it could be that we are being like influenced to think in really negative ways by an outer source. So we want to consider what those sources are. And, do an experiment. If you've been struggling with your mental health, and it doesn't even have to be in huge ways. I'm not talking about like, I'm on the verge of a mental breakdown. I'm talking about you're just feeling a little low. You're feeling a little disconnected from your spiritual guides, from God, whatever. I just take a few days to unplug. There's been nothing more healing in my life at times when I've done something a little extreme. And I don't mean like, going to live in an ashram up in the mountains, but I mean like fasting for a day, doing a social media or media fast for a day, going on a retreat and doing long, long meditations to kind of break us out of that habit. We get into these habits, we get into these routines. Sometimes we need to break out of it. But cleansing your mental palette, you'll discover like, oh, actually, I'm okay. I'm okay. Without the outer influence, I actually can feel rather connected. Move with grace, gentleness, don't fight. You duck and dodge any attack energy coming towards you and make sure you put yourself in healthy situations. And then the last card, the elder, is moving away from the old, but making sure you know what you're moving towards, not just disregarding the old, but going, I'm moving towards more love. I'm moving towards more peace. I'm moving towards more health. And last thing I want to say is that your spiritual guidance is listening. So when you declare that you want to move in a more positive direction, the universe lines up to assist you in that. That I have seen again and again with myself and with clients, that you have support. We'll go back to the original message, full circle. I love it. We are not alone. We are not alone. We could not be alone if we wanted to. So make sure that you're in good company and talk to your spiritual guides and prayers, and keep tuning in here. Subscribe to my channel. You can find me on skywardhealingarts.com. I do have a beginner channeling course coming up with my colleague, Heather Ogilvy. I hope I say that right. She is Scottish. I used to say Ogilvy, and now I think it's Ogilvy. I'm going to need to ask her. Anyway, Heather is a fantastic animal communicator. You can find that link to sign up for that course. We also have a satsang coming up next weekend. And I have other really exciting stuff coming down the pike that I'm going to let you guys know about. But I'm thrilled to be here. I'm really excited I did this. I'm going to hit the post button and put this out. And I'm sending you all so much love. So I'll see you next time. Take it easy.